I was in a stable relationship with a girl who was my life. She had chubby legs and elbow hair. I dreamed she'd be my wife. But she dumped me on a Wednesday, left me heartbroken in a ditch. But I think I know what happened that turned my whore into a bitch. The deep state made my girlfriend leave me. Those cunts did it again. She got a payoff from the government, and now she's seeing other men. Why they do this to me, I have no idea why. They did a psyop on my girlfriend to make her go fuck other guys. This has happened like 1,000 times, and it's gotten pretty old. These bitches keep on leaving me because they are mind control. The elite have focused in on me, putting chemtrails in the air. They steal away my girlfriend using cognitive warfare. The deep state made my girlfriend leave me. Those cunts did it again. She got brainwashed by the government to go chase after other men. Why they do this to me, I have no idea why. They did a psyop on my girlfriend to make her sleep with other guys.
What is up, hooligans, and happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. I'm going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we'll be getting things started. See if I can fix our chat on the screen there. Either way. We're going to start off with this first video titled Trump Floats Discussion with Maduro as U.S. weighs military action in Venezuela. They keep saying there's not going to be military action, but then they keep doing things that looks like it's going to be military action. So I don't know what's actually going to happen or not. Then we got a doubly. It's pretty interesting. First one is President Trump says nobody cares about Marjorie Traitor Greene, which is interesting. It's really interesting. The second video being Marjorie Taylor Greene responding to President Trump calling her a traitor. It's titled Marjorie Taylor Greene on Trump, Epstein, and Toxic Politics. Then we got a video titled More than 130 people detained in Charlotte as DHS carries out largest immigration crackdown. They're calling it Operation Charlot's Web, and they're cleaning up North Carolina. Then we got our midlife break, our funny video halfway through. Today it was provided by Stoner, and it's titled Monday. Then getting back into the news, we have video titled Florida's massive child recovery operation rescues more than 100 kids, which is good stuff. Finally, some good news. Then we got a video titled Illegal Border Crosser Casino Crime Spree Across Washington. Apparently this illegal was on a 10-day crime spree. I guess life is just too easy here in America. Then we got a video titled 17-year-old illegal border crosser arrested in Texas for a jogger hammer attack. I don't know why they worded it like that. He attacked a woman with a hammer and hit her multiple times. She did live, and she's expected to survive. Then we will be wrapping up the news with lefties losing it. Today it's titled, What is Ariana Grande's beef with Sydney Sweeney? It's because Sydney Sweeney doesn't look like she throws up all of her food. Then we'll be getting into the fun stuff. We'll be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our two funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Russell, and it's titled Good Advice. And our official funny video of the day was provided by 10 Man, and it's titled Move. All of that's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see how you hooligans are doing today. And what is up, everyone, over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Ghostly? What's up, Dud? What's up, 10 Man? What's up, Russell? What's up, Matt Rogers? And what's up, Snooks? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone, over on Rumble? Beck Frank, you were first today. Happy freedom to you, and I appreciate you racing to the chat back, Frank. Let me see. What's up, Puff and Stuff? Happy freedom to you. Done. You're omnipresent. Appreciate you. Happy freedom to you. What's up, MU? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Ramsey? Happy freedom. What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom to you. What's up, SOS? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. What's up, Mr. Sade? Matt Rogers, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, H-Big? Happy freedom. What's up, Dusto? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. My eyes are not focusing. What's up, Magic Moon? Happy freedom. Make sure we get everybody. What's up, Screaming Eagle? And what's up, E-Bugs? Happy freedom. Appreciate all of you hooligans being over on Rumble. Make sure you hit that like button. See if you can get us on the front page. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom. Matt Rogers, you're truly omnipresent. And what is happening to the goof tube? Hold on, my chat is frozen. I cannot move it. Oh no. Clicking all the wrong buttons as fast as I can. What's up, Agent O? Happy freedom. What's up, Mr. Satan? You're omnipresent. Appreciate you. Matt Rogers, you are truly omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Kelly Jones? Happy freedom. What's up, Roy? Happy freedom. I think we got everybody. Agent O, Klaus clocking in. Yes. You good boy. Yes, good boy, good butt. And what is up, everyone over on X? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. All right, let's go ahead and get into things. Like I said, we're going to be starting off with this first video. Trump floats discussion with Maduro as U.S. weighs military action in Venezuela. Like I said, they keep claiming that nothing's going on with us in Venezuela. We just want the drug bust to stop. But then we're kind of gearing up like we're going to be doing something to them. I don't know. Trust your eyes or trust the words. Either way, like I said, this is titled Trump floats discussion with Maduro as U.S. weighs military action in Venezuela. And we'll be dropping merch links and Alistair's links and all of that stuff. So definitely check that out in the chat while we're watching this first video.
President Trump says his administration may hold talks with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro as he weighs military action inside that country. The Trump administration is now moving to designate Cartel de los Soles, a group that Trump claims Maduro leads, as a foreign terrorist organization. In a major show of force, the Navy's most advanced aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, is now within striking distance of Venezuela. Here is what Trump had to say when asked whether the terrorist designation allows the U.S. to target Maduro's assets and infrastructure.
It allows us to do that, but we haven't said we're going to do that. And we may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out. They would like to talk.
According to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the foreign terrorist designation is set to go into effect a week from today.
Okay, so starting off with something easy here. We'll see how it goes with Venezuela. I wonder if things are going to ramp up when they do this designation, they're calling it. They're saying that the Trump admin may be talking with Maduro in the near future. Trump claims that Maduro, which I spelled that wrong, is leading the cartel de los soros or somebody, and says that they will be designated as a terrorist organization, which makes him the leader of a terrorist organization, which makes me wonder, are we actually going to be talking to him? Because I don't think we really talk to terrorists. But they're saying that the designation goes into effect next week. So on Monday next week, I guess Venezuela will just be a terrorist organization. Next up, like I said, we got a doubly. President Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene are feuding right now. President Trump is calling her Marjorie Traitor Greene. It's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about Venezuela, as well as President Trump potentially going to talk to Maduro, see if they can smooth things out so we don't have to make them the 51st state. Thank you so much, Ramsey, for that $2 donation over on Rumble. You're a badass, Ramsey. Thank you so much. It says like, share, and repost, or get your obviously damaged brain checked out. That's right, Ramsey. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. What's up, guys? Happy freedom to you. The House Rules Committee is going over a bunch of legislation. The stream from Forbes Breaking News has Epstein files in the title. Yeah, it's because the Epstein file stuff is their highlight topic of the week right now. Even if the House passes it, it still has to go to Congress or whatever, the Senate, and then Trump will have the option to veto it. We'll see if they actually vote it in. They're saying that they think that it's going to pass the House. They just don't know if it's going to get any further than that. But thank you for letting me know, Dudden. What's up, Elder Zoomer? Happy freedom to you. Dusto smoking all their small drug boats. Yep, they is. What's up, Booze of Flames? Happy Freedom. What's up, Alan? Happy Freedom to you. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward. What's up, Zero? Happy Freedom. Like I said, this next one's doubly. First, it's President, and it's a very short video. It's 12 seconds long. But the first one is President Trump referring to Marjorie Taylor Greene as Marjorie Traitor Greene. And then the second video is MTG sort of responding to President Trump, but then also kind of summarizing why she's been behaving the way she is and, you know, what her intentions are and all of that. Make sure you hit that like button and let's get into this.
Marjorie Traitor Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her.
Come on, thing. So President Trump talking bad about Marjorie Taylor Greene. She went out there and said that there's been threats against her life and all this stuff. And so the press asked him about it, although I couldn't get a full clip of it. Asked him about it, and that was his response, referring to her as Marjorie Traitor Greene, and then claiming that he doesn't think her life's in danger because no one gives a shit about her, which is pretty rough to say. Either way, this is MTG responding, and like I said, kind of summarizing what her current goals are.
The president says he's withdrawing support for you, encouraging primary challengers. You were one of his biggest supporters. What do you think happened here?
Well, Dana, thank you for having me on, and that is true. I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected, and I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration, and I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country, and that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems. The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong, and those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, you know, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations, and I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking. And I will not apologize for that. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files, and I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong. And so I'm standing with the women, and I will continue to do my small part to get the files released.
Okay. So President Trump, MTG feuding a little bit there. Once again, President Trump referring to her as Marjorie Traitor Greene, and then MTG responding to President Trump calling her a traitor, saying that the Epstein stuff is what's causing all the division, and then she insinuates that President Trump is protecting wealthy friends and that she's just trying to get the information exposed. Like I was saying Saturday, I think it was, people on X are divided. Some people are leaving the MAGA camp to go and back Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying America first or America only and stuff like that, turn their back on President Trump. I don't know, X is kind of a weird place, so we'll see how people feel in the upcoming week. Next up, more than 130 people detained in Charlotte as DHS carries out latest immigration crackdown. They're out here cleaning up North Carolina with Charlotts Web. That's what they're calling it. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about President Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene not getting along. Straight up calling her a traitor. 10-man deportations are hurting her pocketbook. Fuck her. You think so? You think she's against the deportations? Guess I'm spent all day going over the new Epstein file dump. Did you find anything interesting? Russell, I think MTG has taken a turn towards the left. No traitor level yet, though. Yeah, I don't know what she did to deserve to be called a traitor. What's up, Rappy? Happy Freedom. Screaming Eagle, I'm not mad at MTG. Trump blew Bubba. That's wronger than America First. Yeah, I'm not really mad at MTG either. I don't even really understand why they're fighting. It's like people don't have to agree all the time. Like just because you like chocolate ice cream and I don't mean I have to call you a traitor because I don't like what you like. I don't understand why they're getting all mad at each other. Puff Stuff, it all started from her visit to The View. They're saying it has something to do with support. She wanted to run for an elected office, some new position or something, and Trump told her no. And then that's when she started kind of turning against Trump. At least that's what's been suggested, but I don't really understand where the division's coming from. MU, politics gets messy. Yes, it does. Pumpkin, I'm disappointed at MTG. She's kind of straying away from the MAGA camp. What's up, SOS? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Watchman? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Peyton? Happy freedom. Beck Frank, it all makes Trump look shady, and it does look like he's protecting people. Yeah, I think so too. Dusto, MTG said deporting the cheap labor is hurting builders. Oh, she's an idiot. We gotta get the illegals out of here. She was talking all this stuff about Lake and Riley and all of that, so I'm surprised that she would be against deportations after she did all that standing for Lake and Riley. What's up, Viola? Happy freedom. Swinging that thing around, about to poke my eye out. What's up, Mav? Happy freedom to you. Release the Epstein files. We'll see if they will. They gotta vote, and then they gotta vote some more, and then Trump has to not veto it, and then they'll give us a bunch of redacted stuff that we won't be able to read anyways. What's up, Tar Kitty? What's up, Rhyme Time? Happy freedom. Tar Kitty, I looked it up, but I couldn't find what you were talking about. There's like a million videos with that name. I guess that's a really common phrase of some sort. I'll give it another try, but I looked it up yesterday and the day before, and I could not find what you were talking about. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, more than 130 people detained in Charlotte as DHS carries out latest immigration crackdown. They're doing Operation Charlets Web, and they're cleaning up North Carolina. But before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out, as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this pulled up. Maybe. Come on, come on. All right, once again, more than 130 people detained in Charlotte as DHS carries out latest immigration crackdown. This is all about Operation Charlot's Web, and they're busting these illegals. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
¿Te quiebra mi ventana? ¿Por qué hizo eso, señor? I am a U.S. citizen. I'm not dead. I had it.
Scenes of chaos in Charlotte, North Carolina over the weekend. Dozens of people caught up in Charlot's Web. That's the name the Trump administration gave its latest round of immigration crackdowns. The man seen here was released after proving he is a U.S. citizen, but it's not clear what happened to the woman. U.S. Border Patrol agents swept through the city, arresting more than 130 people. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino is leading the crackdown after spearheading Border Patrol efforts in Chicago and in Los Angeles. Charlotte is now the 6th U.S. city targeted for Border Patrol enforcement. The raids drew protests in the strongly Democratic city, where around 18% of residents are foreign-born. Hundreds of people marched on Saturday against the immigration crackdown. Local leaders also expressed their concerns about why their city is being targeted. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry is in Charlotte.
Federal immigration agents swept across Charlotte over the weekend, from landscaping gigs to shopping centers, arresting 81 people on Saturday alone. And yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security said a U.S. citizen drove a large van at law enforcement mid-operation, ramming cars and injuring an officer before he was arrested. The immigration raids drew protests in a strongly Democratic city where around 18% of residents were born outside the U.S.
A lot of friends and family and acquaintances who say that they're not going out, they're having their kids who are citizens go and pick up their clothes and food for them.
Customs and Border Protection Chief of Patrol Gregory Bovino uploaded photos of several people who were apprehended, claiming they are in the country illegally and outlining their alleged criminal histories. But in videos posted online, some who were detained said they do have legal status. That includes Willie Isatuno, who was filming as federal agents broke a window of his truck before detaining him Saturday, even though he says he's a citizen. They threw me to the ground, and I always have my papers with me in my bag, he said. They didn't care. I told them many times. Once the agents did look at his documents, Isatuno said he was allowed to walk back to his car.
Any level of coordination with local or state officials has been basically non-existent.
Mark Jarrell is the chair of the Mecklenburg County Board of Commissioners.
People are scared. They're living in fear. I don't know who is being targeted. I don't know if it's a community or if it's individuals.
Our thanks to Skylar Henry for that report. And nationwide, the Department of Homeland Security says more than 500,000 people have been arrested and deported. The federal agency says its goal is to remove threats and ensure Americans are safe. Let's bring in CBS News.
Okay. So they're out there cleaning up North Carolina, and it seems like they're doing a pretty good job. They're saying that it's Operation Charlot's Web. They arrested 81 people just on Saturday. Now they've arrested more than 130 illegals. Some in the video are claiming that they have legal status, like the guy who was sitting in the truck recording when they broke the window or whatever. I'm assuming that the only reason they were roughed up by ICE is because they weren't complying. Like, he was sitting in the truck. I'm sure he wasn't just some guy sitting in the truck and ICE just walked up and blew the window out. They were probably telling him to show his paperwork, and he just was being smart mouth about it, didn't want to comply, wanted to be funny, wanted to make an outrageous video for TikTok, and it went the way it did. He said, oh, they put me on my head. Yeah, I bet they did. I bet they did. Next time, show your papers and shit. We got to do it if we get pulled over. I was born in this fucking country. I still got to hand my papers over if I'm pulled over by law enforcement. That's just the way it goes. That guy wanted to be put on his head. That's why he was put on his head. I mean, otherwise, why would they do that? Either way, they're talking about people living in fear. But of course, if you're here legally, then you don't have anything to worry about. Plus, if you comply, you'll live longer. Either way, next up, we got our midlife break, our funny video halfway through. Today, it was provided by Stoner, and it's titled Monday. It's coming up next, but first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about Operation Charlot's Web. What's up, Larry? Happy freedom to you. Russell, I'm all for the ICE takedowns. Yeah, me too. We got to get these illegals out of here. It's like everything else is stifling it. You don't comply. The judges are saying where they can go and when they can go there and all this crap. It's like, just get the illegals out of here. Sir, I voted for this. More. That's right. Oh, I guess I haven't seen that yet. I'll have to check it in a second. Guess they asked me for my papers. All they're going to get is zigzags. Beck Frank, what's the bet that he's a plant, purposely didn't show papers immediately so the left could use the video? Yeah, I'm sure he's just being a troublemaker. What's up, Major? What's up, Metal Mouth? Happy freedom. Dusto, yes sir, no sir, on your way. Yeah, pretty much. Done. Compliance is easy. People are just stupid. You are not wrong. They are stupid. What's up, Snarl? Happy freedom to you. Puff Stuff, House is supposed to be in session in about 20 minutes. It's for the Epstein files vote. Yeah, but then it's got to go to the Senate, and then it's got to go to Trump's desk and all of that, and that's not going to happen today. Happy freedom to you, Gath. Roll your damn window down when the law enforcement asks you to do so. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. What's up, Tiger Jaw? Happy freedom to you. None of them cried when Obama deported millions. Yeah, like everyone's still trying to hit where Obama was. We haven't hit Obama numbers at all, and nobody even cared about it back then. What's up, Rest Early? Happy freedom to you. Screaming Eagle, illegals arresting illegals? No, that's not what was happening. Pretty sure that's not what was going on. Watchmen, not nearly enough. 130 people is just a drop in the bucket. I agree. Beck Frank, prays for a raid by 160 people so Jeff can do the chili jerky. I know, we lost a bunch of hooligans over the weekend. Apparently the payments all lapsed. We had a bunch of gifted subs from apparently a month ago, and I guess they just expired, which really sucks. Major will get voted down again. That's what I'm kind of assuming is going to happen, but we'll see. What's up, Bakaviz? Happy freedom to you. I would pay to watch a ICE live stream. Yeah, we've been saying this since Trump got into office. They should have a show like Cops and just show ICE. Show them doing what they do. What's up, Ian? Happy freedom. Insane people defending criminals. That's exactly what they do. What's up, Andrew? Happy freedom. What's up, Texan? Happy freedom to you. Andrew, so Trump thinks MTG is more of a traitor than Mayorkas? I don't know. I haven't heard a direct comparison like that. Goth, I just found my aunt's Cheech and Chong album with the original huge rolling paper in it. That's awesome, Goth. All right, hooligans, moving forward here. Like I said, we got our midlife break. It's our funny video halfway through. And like I said, today it was provided by Stoner, and it's titled Monday. But before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to join the membership program over on Rumble and become an official hooligan, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to open a browser, go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat. And like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. And like Beck Frank was saying, if we hit 200 hooligans over on Rumble, we're going to be eating the spiciest jerky that Australia has to offer. So we got to hit 200 hooligans over on Rumble. Go become official today. Let's go ahead and get into this. Like I said, our midlife break here. Let's get this pulled up. Come on, do the thing. All right, like I said, this was provided by Stoner, and it's titled Monday.
It's Monday!
Yeah! Yep. All right, getting back into the news here. This next one is Florida's massive child recovery operation rescues more than 100 kids, which is good stuff. It's probably the only good news we got today. They found 100 kids. All right, hooligans, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Florida officials doubling down on their mission to find missing children with Operation Home for the Holidays, rescuing 122 kids in what is being called the largest child recovery operation in U.S. history. Joining me now with the details, Florida Attorney General James Othmeyer. AG, this is a beautiful story, the fact that these 122 souls have been rescued, but it is disgusting what people do to children. What can you tell us about this operation?
Sure. Well, here in Florida, protecting our kids, keeping them safe, that is mission number one. So today's announcement is great. It's been an honor to support our state law enforcement and really the leadership of the U.S. Marshals under Marshal William Berger. They've done a great job rescuing these kids. They range in ages from 17 all the way down to 2 years old, and many of them have been through the unthinkable. They've been exploited, they've been endangered, and in the worst of cases, they've been physically, sexually abused. Here in Florida, our prosecutors, if you hurt our kids, we will go after you to the absolute fullest. We will lock you up for as long as possible, and where eligible, we will seek the death penalty.
How did you hunt down these child predators?
It takes a coordinated effort working across dozens of agencies from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to juvenile justice, children and families, our local police departments. We work together, many undercover, working across the state using technology to find these kids that were previously reported missing. The largest U.S. child rescue operation in history. We'll stay at it. We're going to get these kids the care and therapy and treatment they need to get them back on the road to recovery.
I know in previous operations, many of the perpetrators were here illegally. Was that the case in this latest operation?
Details are still coming out. I'm not aware of that at this point, but I will say every time we do child predator stings, it seems like around 20% or so are people that are in the country illegally. It shows how much crime and trafficking and drug abuse has really moved over the southern border. I'm glad the southern border is finally closed. But where you traffic kids in Florida, you will be held accountable to the fullest.
Where do these children go now? Are they reunited with families? Do they go into the system? What happens next?
That's the question, right? I mean, these kids, many of them are runaways. A lot of them have been exploited, some coming out of the foster care program. Now's the real question for state leaders. We've got to give them the love, the treatment, the care they need. We've got to find them loving homes that are going to support them and not continue to endanger them. So you better believe our state leaders are going to be working on that as we rescue these kids. That's not the end. That's truly just the beginning. They need our prayers. They need our love. They need to be set up for success.
How widespread?
Okay. So like I said, got some good news there. They're saying that Operation Home for the Holiday has been a success. They're saying it's the largest child rescue operation in history. 122 missing children have been recovered. They range from 2 years old all the way to 17 years old. They say traffickers will be held to the fullest extent of the law, and they even mention the death penalty. It's good stuff. Florida's been cracking down on the illegals, and they've been also saving children and stuff. They're making Florida great again. That's what they're doing. Either way, next up, illegal border crosser casino crime spree. It's coming up next. This guy was robbing casinos. I didn't realize people were dumb enough to do that, but either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about more than 122 missing children recovered in Florida. Zero. Trump speaking live at the summit. Let me see. Wasn't he supposed to be live earlier today? What time is it? Oh, 22 minutes. McDonald's Impact Summit. I don't know what that is. We'll see. I'll pull it up and we'll take a gander. Every time I show Trump and stuff, nobody ever shows up to the live, so I don't really worry about it anymore. Seems like people don't like watching Trump.
Stuff.
Oh, he's speaking right now. And he's kind of on time. He's only 22 minutes late. I guess we'll sit here and we'll cover President Trump talking about how much he likes McDonald's. Just go ahead and do the thing. Make sure you share out the live. Hit that like button. Fill this chat up.
Think of it, the
And
highest
see what he's talking
inflation
about.
in the history of our country. They say 48 years it was the history of our country. And now we have normal inflation. We're going to get it a little bit lower, frankly, but we have normal. We've normalized it. We have it down to a low level, but we're going to get it a little bit lower. We want perfection. You know, you always want 1%. I don't know if anybody knows. You don't want zero. Zero can be bad. Then you start going the other route. That's no good either. Then you say, what's worse, deflation or inflation? But we have it almost at the sweet spot, and prices are coming down on different things. One of your groups that you admire, I admire, Walmart, came up Last weekend, they announced that Thanksgiving this year is 25% less. All of the accoutrements, that Thanksgiving is 25% less than it was last year under Sleepy Joe Biden. So that's a big statement. And others have followed up by saying just about that. And to your leader, when we met, I said, how are you doing with prices? Prices are coming down. He said, we were up 40% because of Biden and inflation, and they're coming down, and they're coming down rapidly. So I hope that all continues to go, but we're really doing well as a country. Most importantly, however, I will tell you, big picture, we have over $17 trillion being invested in our country in 9 months. It's now just about ready to crack 18, and by the end of 1 year, we will have about $20 to $21 trillion invested in our country. That's more by 10 times the highest amount ever invested in any country ever before. And it's largely because of tariffs and, I think, November 5th election. But it's the largest amount. As an example, so if we have 20 or 21 in 1 year, 21 trillion, think of what that is. That's car factories, that's AI, it's everything. They're all coming back because of the tariffs. They're all coming back because they don't want to pay 15, 20, 30, 100% tariff. It wasn't that complicated. People are saying, Trump was right. It really wasn't that complicated, but it's been amazing. As an example, if you take me at 20 for 1 year, Sleepy Joe Biden, you know what he was? Less than 1 for 4 years. And if they got elected, they would have been at minus 10 because people were moving out of the country in record numbers, and welfare and other charges were increasing at levels that nobody has ever seen before. So you would have had double and maybe 50%, maybe literally more than they've ever seen. Welfare was going up. Everything was going up. Government jobs were going up. Real jobs were going down. So you would have had that catastrophe, and on top of it, instead of 20 trillion coming in, you would have had 10 trillion leaving our country. In other words, you would have had a catastrophe. You probably would have had a bankrupt country. You are so damn lucky that I won that election. I'm telling you. It's true. It's true. It's actually true. I hope the press covers that. Sometimes he got up and he ranted and raved and bragged. I don't brag. I just give you the facts. It's true. But those in this room know the people of our country better than anybody. And before the sun rises, you're up serving hot coffee to construction workers, nurses, and police officers on the way to the job. In the evening, you stand ready with the fast dinner and a smile for busy moms and their children as they race from school to soccer practice. Really is. It's Americana. And late at night, your lights are often the only ones still glowing when the long-haul trucker pulls up for a good meal and a best Coca-Cola in America. Best Coca-Cola. Whoa. And I'll bet they use real sugar in your Coca-Cola. They didn't in the United States. I said to the head of Coca-Cola, you got to go to sugar. They do in other countries. And you know what? They went to sugar. Isn't that nice? I said, you got to go to sugar. Just like I said, why is the Gulf of Mexico called the Gulf of Mexico? I said, we're changing the name. And now it's the Gulf of America. It has nothing to do with McDonald's, but maybe it does. Because it's very nice cycle. We have 92% of the shoreline. They have 8%. I wouldn't say I made a lot of friends in Mexico, but they still like me. Wasn't that a good change? Seriously, wasn't that beautiful? And it was done in an instant. It's like, normally you think a thing like that would take years. This took like 10 minutes. I asked somebody, good lawyers in my office, I said, would I be able to change the Gulf of Mexico? Is that possible to the Gulf? Sir, it's been that way for 350 years. They were here 100 years before us. We're 250, they were 350. It's been called the Gulf of Mexico, sir, for 350 years. I said, that's not the question. Am I able to change it? Yes. What do I do? Just give us the order and we'll do it. And I did, and we changed it, and everybody's happy. Well, not everybody, but most people. Most people are happy, but it's great prestige for our country. It's tremendous prestige for our country. And that's good for McDonald's, and that's good for everybody else. As president, I want you to know that I'm fighting every day to support small businesses like yours and the citizens that we all serve. And together we're fighting for an economy where everyone can win, from the cashier starting her first job to a franchisee opening his first location to the young family in a drive-through line. I've been on that line many times. Actually, that line was incredible in the commercial, right? It wasn't a commercial, it was about, but they have the line. The people had no idea. So I made the French fries. The guy was really good. He had a great wrist. He was, sir. He was going like, sir. Yeah. It was not that easy. But I got it sort of finally. Not the greatest, but I get it, pouring it in, asking him all sorts of stupid questions. But it was very interesting. Amazing. A little thing is not, it's a little complex, right? To father and son over there that own a lot. They're very rich people. But I'll tell you what. I asked, how many do you have? Sir, I have 59. I said, you're rich. But you know, nobody knew in the line. The line was a long line. They had 25,000 people, so somebody let them know we were coming. It was toward the end of the campaign. And after I did the French fries and did some other things, I then stood at the window. And the people would drive up, a little bored in all fairness. You know, it is, I mean, they're waiting for a hamburger, okay? So they'd drive up like this. They'd look over. Whoa! Every one of them. And it was fascinating. Every one of them, they would, it was, the response was incredible. Almost like I knew I was going to win when I saw that. I knew, because the response was love. It was great. They had a good time, but we did, I think, 12 people. Every one of them had the same response. They drive up, they this, they get that, getting a little cash ready, and they look over, and it was, some did a double take. Some went like that. Whoa. But it was sort of an amazing moment. You know, I did a garbage truck also, right? And everybody, and I thought, when I spoke with Sergey and Sundar, I said, yeah, but the garbage truck was equal, wasn't it? They said, not even a contest. Garbage truck was great, not even a contest to McDonald's. And that's because we had the power of McDonald's. I mean, it was an amazing thing. I thought the garbage truck would have won. And they said it was good, but it wasn't even close. So that's a tribute to what you've built, really. It really is a tribute to what you built. But there's still a lot of work to do, and we're making tremendous progress. 1.9 million more American-born workers are employed today than when I took office. Think of that. 1.9 million more today and these are American-born workers. Nobody thought that was possible. And we have the strongest borders in the history of our country. Nobody comes in unless they come in legally. You see the numbers. Everyone thinks it's impossible. A year ago, millions of people were storming our borders. Today, they only come in if they come in legally. And wages for hourly workers are rising at the fastest pace in 60 years. And sometimes you might say, was that good or bad? It's great for you. The minimum wage thing you'll have to be talking about. You're going to have to fight. We were talking about California, Gavin Newsom from California. And I knew he's laying siege on the minimum wage. And you people probably know, because that's a very complex subject, and you people probably know better than anybody the impact one way or the other, good or bad. And you're going to let your local congressmen, your senators know about it. But in 9 months, we've lifted over 600,000 Americans off a food stamp, and that's a record. And in stock, because we really have a strong economy. I mean, we're building thousands and thousands of factories all over this country. Wait till they open up. You're going to see something like we've never seen before. You know, we lost our auto industry. 54% of our auto industry left for other places over the years. And I think we're going to get it more than all back. They're coming in from Mexico, from Canada, from Germany. They're coming in from Japan. We made a deal with Japan, $650 billion. We never got anything. We made a deal with the European Union, $950 billion, and they have to buy our oil and gas and many other things. And I want to say it's good for everybody. All that we made a deal recently with China, where they buy our soybeans, but it's hundreds of billions of dollars. And it's incredible what's taken place in our country. The world was laughing at us like we were stupid people. They're not laughing anymore. They don't laugh at us anymore. They respect us now again, and that's what we want. We want to be liked. We want to be respected, much more so than being liked. And in a certain way, they like us better now, too. They respect us, but they like us better now because the world was ripping off our country. Not sustainable, not even sustainable. China was making $722 billion. Think of that. Not million. 722 million's a lot, isn't it? $722 billion. They built their military with the money that we gave them over the years. And in my first term, we had a great first term. The most successful economy we've ever had in my first term. This is going to blow it away. This is blowing it away, to be honest with you. It blows everything away. There's never been a time like this, and you're going to see the results, pretty quickly. But in stark contrast to the previous administration, 100% of all new jobs created in America under my administration have been created in the private sector. Because, we are trimming out government jobs. You can't have, what they do is they give you phony job numbers in a lot of ways, but they'd hire 100,000 people, and all of a sudden it looks like they're doing well. They're not doing well, because those are jobs they hurt our country. If those jobs can be in the private sector, paying taxes and all the other things, it's a big 100% of the jobs that we put in have been, think of that, are in the private, come from the private sector. In my first term, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. And now we're doing it again, but this time it really is, as I said, much stronger, much better. I think it's going to be something that nobody has ever seen before. My pledge to every family and every small business is that I will not rest until you are richer, stronger, more successful, happier, till you've gotten a piece of the American dream. Some of you in this room have really gotten a piece of it because you made a great decision to go with a great, great company years ago. And it's really pretty amazing. And that begins with making America. We have to do, the word is affordable. And affordable should be our word, not theirs. Because the Democrats got up and talked affordability, and they don't say that they had the worst inflation in history, the highest energy prices in history. Everything was the worst. What they're great at is lying. They say affordability. Their stuff was all much more expensive. We have a couple of items like coffee, which is a little high. We're going to get that down. You saw that today. The coffee comes down. Remember when I first took over? Eggs. My third day in office, I have a news conference, and the fake news media was screaming at me, Mr. Congressman, about eggs. Remember that? I'm standing there very innocent. Oh, hello. Do you have any questions? What about eggs? What about them? They're up 4 times. I said, look, I just got here. I'm sorry. And Brooke Rollins and Department of Agriculture did a phenomenal job. And they said, don't order eggs for Easter because you won't be able to get them. And they said, we have a big Easter egg hunt at the White House. It's sort of a thing that has gone on for 100 years. They said, could you order plastic eggs? I said, I'm not ordering plastic eggs. We're going to have eggs down by that time. And by the time we got to Easter, the price of eggs had fallen precipitously. We had all the eggs in this country you want. And we know what we're doing. I mean, we know what we're doing. We rebuilt our military. We have the greatest military anywhere in the world. We make the greatest military equipment anywhere in the world. And everybody knows it. And everybody knows it. And you saw that with the way we took out the nuclear capability of Iran with those gorgeous B-2 bombers. They flew in there. And they wiped it. And the word was obliterated. Remember when CNN said, well, it might not have been obliteration. Think of the pilots. They go in there. They're under fire. I was watching this from the Situation Room. And you get to see things in situations that you wouldn't believe. And they said, sir, they have entered Iran airspace. All of a sudden, you see much faster. Then you see him going down at the whole thing was crazy. I actually said, do people really want to do that for a living? They're waiting for him, but the equipment is so good. The B-2 bomber, stealth. They never saw them. They never saw them. I mean, it's the most amazing thing. And I honored the pilots at the White House. I had them brought in, along with mechanics and a lot of other people. We brought them to the White House to give a little celebration because they flew 37 hours flawlessly. Now compare that to the Jimmy Carter Iran situation with the helicopters crashing and the this and the, oh, what a horror, and the hostages. And I said, we can't let that happen, but we have a great team. General Raisin Kane is unbelievable. The whole group is unbelievable. And they went in, and I brought them into the White House, and I brought them then into the Oval Office, the pilots, and we met them, all handsome. They look like Tom Cruise. They really do. I don't want to be a wise guy and say, but taller. I'm not going to say that. No, they're perfect specimens. I mean, these guys are like from a movie. I could take everyone, put them in a movie. And I said to him, so what's the story with that raid? Did you expect, because you remember I pulled it back? Because I saw reporting that we're going to be leaving at a certain time. And I said to the general, is that not good that they think that? And they sort of got it right. They saw a lot of activity. Actually, you know why? They saw one of the things. They saw a lot of unbelievable activity going on at the McDonald's next to the base where they take off. The McDonald's was doing 5 times. They were going crazy. So they say, there's something going on over there. The biggest activity that McDonald's had ever had. And it was a nice story, how well it's doing, but that was not a good story for us. So I canceled it and then I announced we're canceling it. And the pilots said they were devastated. Then I put it back at the exact same time, because that was the only time they weren't thinking would happen. And we left exactly on time, but that was after canceling it 2 days before. And then we put it right back in the exact same slot. And we had identical planes, the B-2s, flying four of them, flying into Guam. And they thought that was the attack team. And they were watching those planes in Guam, going to Guam, and that was not the planes that we had. But think of it, they flew both ways 37 hours without a sputtering of a bad engine, without any problem. But they got in, and they said they have entered Iran airspace, and the enemy's waiting for them. And they dropped the bombs. They hit every chute. You know, they have air chutes that go deep into the granite mountains. If you don't hit those chutes, the damage won't be as big as you want. And every bomb hit every chute. And then we hit them with rockets from a submarine that was quite a distance away, 30 of them. Let's put it this way, they got hit. And it totally took out the nuclear capability. And I said to these guys when they came in to the office, I said, do you guys like doing this stuff? You know, they said, sir, it was the greatest day of our life. Can you believe this, Congressman? It was they're like heroes. They're like American heroes. Who the hell wants to sit? You know, those ships are very big, but they're very small when you're up way high, going very fast. And he said it was the greatest day of our life. And they told me something that I didn't know. They said that, sir, do you know, we waited 22 years for this, our predecessors and us. We would practice this run for 22 years. I didn't know that. For 22 years, we had to practice. We'd do it 3 times a year. We would practice this exact run. And then when you canceled it, because I canceled when they heard that we were coming, we were devastated. I said, see, now if I were a flyer and they canceled, I'd be extremely happy. Well, we're canceled, so let's forget it. But we were devastated. So I said, this is something you really love, right? Yes, sir. We were so honored. This was the greatest day of our life. I mean, it's really great. We just have incredible people in this country. It's an amazing story. And they hit, and then they said, skedaddle, the word skedaddle. And that plane went psh, like this. You know, when it drops a bomb, it goes down very steeply because that gives it a better angle and, you know, more speed for the bomb. Very, very heavy bombs. And they go, boom. And as soon as those things, the one pilot, the first one said, skedaddle. And that thing just turned in its side. And it's so unbelievable. And that knocked out Iran nuclear capability. And all of the Middle East became a different place. And now we have peace in the Middle East. And at the United Nations today, they approved the Board of Peace, which is I'm going to chair. And we're picking the leaders or the heads of the most important nations in the world. I think it'll be a board like no other than perhaps the McDonald's board. You have a very good board. You actually have a very good board. But nobody thought a thing like that this just happened today. The Board of Peace, and it's going to be comprised of myself and leaders of other very important nations and very respected nations, and it's going to be something I think is going to be very important. It was just approved. It was just endorsed by the United Nations. It was pretty great. It's a big thing. I think it's one of the most important things the United Nations will ever do, actually. But Joe Biden's prices and his hikes cost a typical American family an estimated $33,000 and hit your workers and your customers and your small businesses. Very, very hard. The Biden administration started the affordability crisis, and my administration is ending it. I'm ending it. Prices are way down. If you just look, so we don't have, as I said, the inflation, but our energy prices are way down. And, you know, despite hamburgers being a big business, energy is one business that's bigger. When you get energy down, everything else is affected. If you start bringing the price of gas, that's like a massive tax cut. And they were selling, you know, they were having gasoline at $4.75 a gallon and $4.50, $3.50, $3.75. We're going to be able, it looks like we're going to be able to hit $2 a gallon in the not too distant future. But let's say we're $2.50, $2.70. Other than places like California, that's not fair because they put so high a tax on that you're really paying a lot of that price is the tax that you're paying to government, which is horrible, actually, what they do. But the price of gasoline and the price of energy is way down. So when energy comes down, you make the donuts, you make the chicken, you make whatever you're making. Everything is all about energy. You have to deliver it. You have the trucks. You have the fuel. When energy comes down, and it's come down fast, we had an expression, drill, baby, drill. And I drilled, baby, drilled. I tell you, we drilled. And last month it was announced we produced more oil and gas than any time in the history of our country by far. And when you do that, everything comes down. You don't even have to look at the numbers. And it's all beautifully coming down. And as per your chief executive and your chairman and everybody else, they tell me the prices at McDonald's are coming down. It's moving down. Unfortunately, they were so high in the last administration that people aren't that happy because it was so high. So even though it's coming down and coming down a lot, they want to see where it was, like when I was president. And we'll be getting it very close to that number, maybe even better, depending on what we do with energy. But the energy is coming way down. In the 9 months since I took office, we've stopped inflation in the tracks. Since January, the core inflation has been the lowest in just about 8 years, just changed. It was 4 years, now it's 8 years. It just changed about an hour. They just said, sir, if you want, we can rewrite the speech. I said, no, I can remember it very nicely. Thank you. I'm not Biden. In the past 6 months, the price of breakfast items has fallen 14%. Bread prices are down. Dairy prices are down. And the price of eggs has declined 86% since March, and much more than that since when I took over. Because when I took over, it was an egg crisis, as we said. And I want to give a very special thanks to McDonald's for slashing prices for your most popular items, bringing back extra value meals, and I hear you're recommitting to the affordable options of Americans that we really know and love, all of the items that we love. And I hear that McDonald's is playing a very big role in that. We're getting prices down for this country, and there's no better leader or advocate than McDonald's. And I believe the next time maybe I'll have to be back here again next year if you get them down enough, okay? That's all you have to do for me is get them down enough. We'll come back. We'll come back, Mr. Chairman. But while Democrats wanted to give Americans the largest tax hike in history in July, I proudly gave you the largest tax cuts in American history and signed the one big beautiful bill. I call it the great big beautiful bill into law. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. That is a big deal. So the great big beautiful bill is the biggest piece of legislation ever passed in our country's history. It gives expensing to you as owners, where you do something, you can expense it, you can take it off in 1 year instead of 38 or 40 years. It gives you so many things. And I'm not giving it to you, I'm giving it to the people that you're hiring, because I'm giving it for jobs. You're going to expand, you're going to do tremendously, you spend money, and you can write it off quickly as opposed to over a period of many, many years. The typical waiter waitress or police officer will take home roughly $2,000 extra each year because of just what we've done on taxes. And the tax cut bill, and I call it the tax cut bill, is also a big boost to small businesses like yours. It includes permanent expensing. And again, the biggest thing I did in my first tax cut bill, and this also expanded and extended that, was the expensing, the 100% expensing. But now we have the expensing for a 10-year period, so for 10 years. And frankly, I sort of said, let's make it 2 years because, you know, I want the results to be immediate. 10 years, they can take their time. I had a lot of pushback, including from these guys. They said, no, the right thing. It might have been good for us politically, but it's better what we did ultimately for the country. So we have 10-year full expensing. Nobody thought that was possible to get. We also expanded tax relief for all franchisees and made the pass-through deduction permanent. It's now permanent. And very importantly, under our tax cut bill, we virtually eliminated the unfair estate tax or death tax, so you can keep your family business in the family, your children, if you love your children. If you leave your beautiful place to your children, you won't have estate tax, small business. Now, if you don't love your children, you don't really care what I'm saying right now.
He's on fire!
I've only had 2 or 3 people over the years that say, I take a vote. Does anybody in this room dislike their children where you're not leaving it to your children? And, you know, it's always blank, blank, blank. Then all of a sudden, one guy about 6 rows back, okay. And I thought he was kidding. I said, oh, that's so funny. I'm not kidding. My kid is no good. I'm not. And I said, this is amazing. So he's not so happy with this, but it's all right. But think of it, you know, farmers especially, where they'd have a farm. And you know the expression, the land rich, cash poor a little bit. But they have a great, wonderful thing and a way of life that they wouldn't change with anybody, not even a franchisee, right? They don't want a McDonald's. If they have a farm, they love their farm, just like you love what you're doing. But the farmers were dying, leaving their farm to their children. The value of the farm was high. They'd go out. They'd have a tremendous estate tax or death tax. And it would so much. I mean, the percentage is crazy how high. They'd end up losing the farm in bankruptcy. They'd go out and borrow all this money to pay the tax, the estate tax. They'd put a mortgage on the farm and they'd end up losing the farm. Many of them committed suicide. They would commit suicide. It was such a horrible thing that was happening. And we've ended, think of that, the death tax, the estate tax on the small businesses. So I hope you're around for a long time. You don't have to think about it. But it's a great thing for your family, and it's, you know, a great thing for longevity. You know, you treat your franchise just like a farmer treats his farm. You love it. I know you're there early, you're cleaning it, little touch of paint here or there. There's a little spot on the ceiling, drives you crazy, right? It's, you know, it's love. It's love for what you do. It's amazing the job you do, too. I see it. I've been in plenty of McDonald's that clean beautifully. You must have some awfully good incentives because they are really amazing places, the job that's done. But upon taking office, I signed an order requiring that for every new regulation, 10 old job-killing regulations have to be eliminated. So if we put in a new regulation, then we get rid of 10. Otherwise, you don't get the new regulation. And, you know, we got rid of the drip, drip water. We call it the drip, drip, where drip drips out of the sink. States with tremendous water, so much water, they have nothing but problems getting rid. They had restrictions on water. It comes down from heaven, right? They had restrictions on water. So you want to wash your hands, or like me, I want to wash my hair. I lather up. Then I turn that, and there's no water. The water's drip. They put a restrictor on. I won't mention the third item in the bathroom because I always get criticized. I used to mention that, but I don't mention it anymore because you know what I think you do. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you shouldn't be owning a McDonald's franchise. You wouldn't do well even with a McDonald's franchise. But no, the water restrictions totally lifted. All restrictors are gone. And you know, it's interesting. Your dishwashers were covered, right? You had no water. I was with some of the people that make them, Whirlpool and others, and they said, sir, they won't give us the water to use in our dishwashers or use in our washing machines. The washing machines have no water. I mean, it's like a glass of water, half a glass of water. We need water. And I said, how bad is it? He said, well, like the dishwasher. They put the dishes in, and they just keep pressing the button, they end up using more water. So I gave them, as you know, unlimited water. Biden came back with a rigged election, and he immediately restricted the water again. But I came back in and immediately unrestricted again. So now you have unlimited water to clean your damn dishes, okay? And other things. Your hands. Didn't you hate that? You walk in to wash your hands. I'm a big hands guy. I like to wash my hands. You know, I used to hate shaking hands. Now, once you run for office, you better like shaking hands or you got a problem. You ever see a politician? No, I don't want to shake hands. Can you do that? I don't think you wouldn't be a politician very long. I actually thought that with COVID, that would be the end because, you know, they didn't want you to shake. I said, well, but then it came back a little bit slowly, then eventually. But when you're a politician, you have to shake hands. So I like washing my hands. And you'd go into the sink, new places generally, and you turn on the water, and there's literally no water. And how about the places that think they're going to save a fortune, so they spend a lot of money, where the water turns off there. You press the thing, which you hate to do, you know, your hands, you don't like to press. So you get the towel, and you press it, you wash it, and the water stops. So they have both a restrictor and a stopper. You get like 4 drops of water. Tell me, do we really get rich with that? Okay, do we really? This is so ridiculous. So I undid all of that nonsense. But we did much more important for you. We've rescinded the insane Biden energy regulations on ovens, cooktops, microwaves, and ice makers that were driving your costs through the roof. You have no longer restrictions in that. I hope you understand. But I did better than that, too. In terms of slashing, we slashed more than $1 trillion worth of regulations, burdens on the U.S. economy, in particular on businesses and people that employ people. Combining our regulatory and tax cuts, we've reduced the effective burden on franchisees by more than 37%. You're so freaking lucky. You are so lucky. You know? These guys are so loaded, they probably don't even know what I did for them. They make so much money, they say, yeah, it's peanuts, 37%. Let me tell you, you should have suffered a little while through Kamala. The good news is she had no clue. You just wonder, I want to give an IQ test to Kamala and Biden. Who do you think wins? But they were destroying your businesses. But I have better than that, though. As you know, in my first time, I also stopped a mortal threat to the franchise business model by terminating Obama's infamous joint employer rule. Joint employer. In other words, you were screwed. You would have been mortally wounded, perhaps. I said to a couple of the people, what would have happened if that? Sir, please, I'd rather not talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. I ended it. You got lucky on that one, let me tell you, because I said, really, I asked one of my guys, because when I was coming over, I saw that in the speech. I said, what does that mean? He said, that would have been death to businesses like yours and others. It was just, these people don't care. They didn't care. But I ended it, and I think that's one of the biggest things that you'll ever have done for yourselves. I think that's the biggest thing that can ever be done for you. We mentioned all these different items, but that's the biggest by far for you. As long as I'm president, I'll always defend your right to run your own small business and do it well. And some of your small businesses have become very large business. One of the franchise owners here today is Carlos Matios Sr., who escaped communist Cuba when he was just 6 years old. In America, Carlos took jobs as newspaper delivery boy, a factory worker, and eventually became a New Jersey police officer. Then, in 1998, Carlos switched careers and moved to Virginia, where he took over his first McDonald's. Where's Carlos? Is he around here? Let me see. Come on, stand up. Stand up, and your son too. Stand up, your son. Good looking son. I met him backstage. He had a knack for turning around poorly performing restaurants, and today his family owns nearly 60 McDonald's all along the East Coast, including at the Pentagon, where I've ordered numerous Big Macs. Right? fact, he served when the great football team came in. They served McDonald's, and you'd have these guys walking out, the biggest human beings I've ever seen. They were the national champs, right? Remember the team? Who was the team? You remember the team? Clemson. He said Clemson, that's right. And these guys, I don't know, they were, like 6'6". What do you weigh? Sir, I weigh 392. I said, but you reported it much less. Yeah, that's what they say. But and he'd have like 12, just each. And I thought he was bringing them back to the rest of the team. I said, that's nice, but maybe the team wants them. No, this is what I said, are you going to eat all of them? Yes, sir. He didn't even know what I was talking about. But you served it, and you did a great job. In 2019, when we hosted that great Clemson Tigers at the White House, I literally brought dozens of Quarter Pounders from McDonald's. We bought the whole thing. We bought the Quarter Pounder. We bought actually just about it. Well, he really had no choice because he just took everything he had in the whole restaurant. We got whatever the hell, probably whatever didn't sell, we got, right? But Carlos is here with Carlos Jr., his son, who started as a cashier and now runs dozens of the restaurants. Congratulations, fellas. What a great family. Congratulations. So in conclusion here tonight, carry on. I'm really just keep going and inspiring that legacy and that pride that you have at really beyond almost all else. It was excellence and service, stretching back more than 7 decades to when 2 hardworking brothers with a hamburger stand in California partnered with a hard-driving entrepreneur from Illinois to revolutionize the restaurant business forever, like nobody had ever seen. Because of men and women like those in this room who have pride in your souls, love in your hearts, and ketchup in your veins. Did you ever hear that one? 70 years later, McDonald's is the #1 fast food restaurant in the entire world, and honestly, it's not even close. What a job you've done. And it still is really growing stronger with 900 new restaurants planned in the United States in the next 2 years alone. And I think with the great big beautiful bill, you might even double that number. I can imagine you'll double that number. But it's amazing to watch you grow. You know, the big ones, they get a little slow, they get a little fat, they get a little sloppy. This is a company that's gone just the opposite. You've gotten more and more competitive. I look at your numbers. You've gotten more and more competitive over the years, over the generations. Your spirit, generosity, and devotion to your communities has really made McDonald's a symbol of American values, aspiration, and success that's recognized all over the world. You are recognized all over the world, something that, and there's a lot of great, I mean, compared to the total, not so many, but there's a lot of great leaders, great companies. But I think more than anybody, McDonald's is recognized all over the world and as widely as, frankly, the stars and stripes themselves. And everywhere there's a McDonald's, we see stars and stripes. Everywhere the American flag flies, you'll find the golden arches, and there you'll find good people doing honest, beautiful, hard work, and happy families sitting down to a really great meal. Because no matter who you are, everyone loves something at McDonald's. There's always something to have. I like the fish. I like it. You could do a little bit more tartar sauce, though, please. Seriously. I hate when I say, do you have any tartar sauce? Do you understand that? Yes, he understands that. Together with hardworking Americans like you, we're going to pioneer new heights of prosperity. We are doing better as a country right now. And people are seeing it. The Wall Street guys know it. The stock market hit its all-time high 48 times in a row in 9 months, 48 times during the 9-month period. And we're hitting the highest stock market we've ever had in history. All markets, all three, all markets, every one of them, has hit all brand new highs. It's a good time to be making this speech, because when you make one of these speeches, if you're doing lousy, it's not good. And you know, the stock market, you can say what you want, but it's a hell of an indicator. It's really a hell of an indicator. And your stock is doing phenomenally. But the stock market has hit an all-time high 48 times during the last 9 months. So we're going to pioneer new heights even from that. These new heights of prosperity are going to be incredible. We're looking at affordability. We're going to bring it down for everybody because not everybody understands the fact that a great stock market is great for everybody, including 401ks. You know, the 401ks hit the highest number that they've ever been 2 days ago. And that's a lot of people. So they understand what's going on. And we're going to make the American dream two words that you didn't have. You didn't have those 2 words. Remember when Biden said, it's all about 3 words, the American dream. You don't want to ever get in that situation. Remember that? That was not good. It's all about 3 words, American dream. But possible, and you're going to make it really possible for millions and millions of people. And you have an administration that's got your back. You don't have an administration that wants to put you out of business, that wants to take away your water, that wants to have you not use a microwave oven, that wants to do all these horrible things that are going to destroy you. They were looking to destroy you and other businesses too. So together we're going to make America richer, stronger, prouder, and happier than ever before. And you people can be very, very proud of the job you've done. You're respected all over the world. And it's an honor to be with the McDonald's. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, there's President Trump doing the thing. Doing the thing. Either way, get into other news here. I didn't realize that he was going to be live later today. I knew he had something going on at like 2 o'clock. He was meeting with somebody that wasn't that important, so we didn't cover it. I didn't realize he was going to be live right then, although didn't really hear anything new. That's okay. Either way, next up, illegal border crosser casino crime spree across Washington. Let's go ahead and get right into this. This guy was not only here illegally, he was like, let's go and rob the casino multiple times. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Crime correspondent Jason Matera. I mean, wow, reading these stories off, it almost sounds like a movie script. What's happening in the state of Washington?
Yeah, well, I'm glad I don't live in Seattle anymore. I was there for a decade. So these arrests, Sean, were recently made outside Seattle over crimes that took place in the summer, actually. We got our hands on the criminal complaint, and what it alleges shows more fallout from a state, Washington, that continues to beat their chest about their sanctuary status. Well, this is what you get.
The 10-day crime spree starts on August 1st at a casino in Tulalip, Washington. The FBI says Edgar Oswaldo Gonzalez Barragan, a Mexican national, walks up to the cashier cage, pulls a firearm from his pocket, and says, "Give me the money, or I will shoot the guests." The cashier hits the panic button and Barragan takes off, but not before he is caught on surveillance video from multiple angles. 2 days later, Barragan shows up at the Silver Reef Casino in Ferndale, Washington. Surveillance shows him allegedly walking to the counter, pulling the same gun and pointing it at the cashier. This time, he gets away with $18,000. Fast forward to August 9th. At the Little Creek Casino in Shelton, Washington, Barragan allegedly flashes the gun again and demands cash from the drawer. But the employee tells him there is none. Authorities say he bolts and heads for the highway. Then on August 11th, at a bank in Shoreline, Washington, he approaches a teller and says, "Give me the money," and drops something heavy on the counter that reportedly sounds like a weapon. The teller, afraid, hands over $1,500. Barragan was arrested after local police connected his vehicle to the string of robberies. And the phone they recovered would end up providing the feds with damning evidence to make their case against him. Not only do investigators say that the phone's location data puts him at the casinos and bank at the time of the alleged crimes, but in one text to his girlfriend, he purportedly writes, "I'm really close to making us a whole bunch of money." But that money supply has dried up. The FBI has him in cuffs, and Edgar Oswaldo Gonzalez Barragan is now sitting in a detention facility outside Seattle. His 10-day robbery rampage is done, and it ends in federal custody.
Sean, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Washington confirmed to us that Berrigan has no legal status to be in the country, which means these banking casino employees had the scare of their lives because progressives in that state refused to work with feds to get illegal aliens like Berrigan off of the streets.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sticking point of this story, right? That's what keeps it alive. Someone here, ultimately, though behind bars now, thank goodness, but they were here illegally. And that is one of the biggest efforts here of this administration, putting a stop to that. Jason Matera joining us with that story. Jason, thank you.
Okay, so like I said, being here illegally wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. Let's go rob casinos. I don't even speak loudly in the casino because that's one place where they will put you right on your head. They do not give a shit. I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but it's absolutely like that here. They're just waiting. They want you to give them a reason to have 11 feet tall dudes come out of the back room and pick you up like a wet napkin and put you right on your face in the cement outside. Like, they wait all day for that shit. I would not be trying to hold those places up. I would try anywhere but there to start with. He's lucky to get away with that shit. He's lucky he was dealing with them 120-pound soy sauce flamboyant individuals out on the left coast, because that wouldn't have been that way around here. He'd have got tuned up. But either way, they're saying that this illegal goes on a 10-day crime spree. Illegal goes into the casino, holds the teller at gunpoint, says they're going to shoot the guests unless they give him the money. He's on camera doing the damn thing because he's an idiot. The teller hits the panic button and he fled. He didn't even get any doll hairs off that first one. 2 days later, he goes into a different casino, does the same thing, gains him $18K. Then he went to a third casino, but they told him he didn't have any money, so he fled again. Then he went to a fourth casino, tell the cashier, same thing, give him the money, give him $1,500. So he's at $19,500 at this point. Now he's in federal custody, and they say that he has no legal status, so hopefully he'll be getting deported. It is the left coast, though, so I don't know. Maybe they'll make him mayor or something like that. Anyways, next up we got 17-year-old illegal border crosser is arrested in Texas because he smacked a woman in the face with a hammer multiple times while she was jogging. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this first illegal who was out here robbing casinos. Russell, I was not drunk in public. They threw me in public. Yeah. It happens. It happens. Some casinos will shoot you with arrows. See, they don't do that here, but I know some places they do. Snooks, I don't know what paper porn is. I've never experienced that. What's up, Obnoxious Scott? Happy freedom to you. Major land of opportunity for everyone except for the citizens. That's what it seems like. Puff Stuff, governor's an idiot. Who's your governor? Major Mostar. Yeah, I know our governor here in Michigan. I know our governor sucks. Jay Tyler, yeah, I don't know if it's on the menu right this second. It's not. I pulled it off of the menu on the website, but I'll let you know when we get to the other side of winter, we'll start advertising the Hooligan Picnic again. We did it last year, but we didn't raise enough awareness about it. I was like kind of putting things together last second. We'll be more prepared this year, but yeah, it'll be in August again. Snooks, I don't know. I don't think everything can. Paper don't even have boobs. Shroomish, I'd rather get a job than risk my freedom for $18K. How pathetic. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He's like, I'm here for the American dream. Put it in the bag or else. That's what he did. Now he's loose. What's up, Blizzard? Happy freedom. What's up, Break a Leg? Happy freedom to you. What's up, salty alien? Happy freedom to you. Snooks, where's your imagination? The paper doesn't have boobs. I'm an adult. I don't need my imagination. I need boobs. What are you talking about? Anyways, moving forward here. Like I said, 17-year-old illegal border crosser arrested in Texas because he went on a hammer attack against this woman. It's not good. I don't know if these illegals come here and just wait in the bushes to attack women jogging or what. That never happened here because I don't never see women jogging. I see them at Walmart with like 15 kids, but I've never seen them jogging. So I don't know. I think that women here are safe from border crossers. Stop jogging so much, women. These illegals will get you. Either way, hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's get into this.
So you've got this, a 17-year-old man arrested in Texas for allegedly attacking a woman with a hammer as that woman was jogging. We're now learning he's in the country illegally on an expired visa. In Plano, Texas, Brooke Taylor has the story now. Brooke, hello.
Hi, Bill. Yeah, this is a busy and popular park. Already this morning, we've seen several people out alone on walks. Police say that a woman was on a jog when a man attacked her with a hammer. This all happened on Thursday around 5 p.m. The details here, they're disturbing. Plano police tell us the woman was hit in the head with the hammer several times. She managed to fight the man off and he ran away. 4 hours later, police had a suspect in custody. They arrested 17-year-old Sergio Noe de Nova Duerte, an illegal migrant from Mexico. According to DHS, he came in on a tourist visa, and then in March of 2024, he was arrested for burglary and larceny. He was arrested under the Biden administration and was released back into the community with a notice to appear. Now, the woman was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, but police say it could have been a lot worse because duct tape was found at the scene. Many people in this area are on high alert right now, looking out for one another.
We should walk alone, right? I mean, there's always two of us or three.
And we know lots of people that are out here, so if we see somebody we don't know, then we avoid that area.
And the suspect is charged with kidnapping with bodily injury, and ICE has launched a detainer against him. I reached out to DHS, Bill. They just sent us this statement a few moments ago saying, quote, this criminal illegal alien should have never been loose in our communities to attack this woman jogging in a park with a hammer.
Wow.
Bill.
Really tough stuff there. Brooke Taylor, Plano, Texas. Thank you, Brooke.
Okay. Well, I say what goes around comes around. Go ahead and let them know what that feels like. So let's go back to an eye for an eye. I don't care if it leaves the world blind or not. I like it. An eye for an eye. 17-year-old, which is too damn old to be smacking people in the face with a hammer. He's here on an expired visa. He attacked this woman with a hammer. She was jogging. The woman was struck in the head multiple times, but fought him off and then ran away. The woman went to the hospital with serious injuries. The illegal was arrested for burglary and larceny. Larceny in 2024, but then he was released back into the country by the Biden admin instead of being deported. They arrested the illegal for this incident, and they also found duct tape at the scene of the crime, suggesting that it could have been worse than just being hit with a hammer. Did they just teach them that in Mexico or what? Because we cover this kind of story all the fucking time, and these people are always from Mexico when they do that. Is this like part of kindergarten? They're like, by the way, you take your victim like this. Like, I don't understand. Either way, he's being charged with kidnapping and bodily injury. I think they should just give him the hammer. Fuck. But either way, next up we got the last little bit of the news. It is Lefties Losing It. Today it's titled, what is Ariana Grande's beef with Sydney Sweeney? We all know what it is. It's the good genes. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about hammer time. Teasel flesh pillows rule. That's right. Can fix your day. Zero, yeah, absolutely. He needs severe consequences for his actions. Guess I'm not the way to meet women. Yeah. I don't know what they're doing in Mexico. They're like, hey, Jose, you got charisma? He's like, yeah, and pulls the hammer out. Like, no, that's not what it is. He's like, I named it charisma. That's not how we're doing this. Russell, he was just trying to nail her. Somebody's gonna not think it's funny, but I think it was funny, Russell. Bobby J, the hemp boobies. You're on to something. I can tell. You are on to something. So Bill Clay, happy freedom. Major, you're cracking me up. Shroomish, 100% of those ladies voted for Kamala because they're not armed. You can tell. Shane, firing squad his ass. Yeah, I mean, that's what he's signing up for. Goth, yeah, I'm the same way. I take it with me, just take out the trash. It's funny because I get pissed because I got to go through the hallway, through a locked door, up the fucking block to my car. And I'll sit down in the car and then I'll be like, fuck, I forgot my gun. And I'll have to get out of the car and come back. And I'm like, well, what do? I want to die today? Do I want to be held at gunpoint at fucking Walmart? No, I don't. And I'm bitching the whole way coming back up the stairs. Like, if I don't get it, today will be the day I die. What's up, Hat the Cat? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Pro Gun? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for the compliment, Pumpkin. I appreciate you. Snarl. I went to an Indian casino once. The bathroom attendant's name was Watch You Pee. I'd ask him how I'm doing. I'd be like, throw me up a score. 1 out of 10. How am I doing over here? Especially if I'm drinking. I'm so funny. It's funny. Shane, yeah, if they brought back public accountability, this kind of shit would stop. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Happy freedom to you. What the hell is that, Teasel? That's not right. We need to ban AI after that. That's too much. I can't even show you guys because it's got boobies in it. You just need to join the website. That's what you need to. You need to just go join the website. Go do that. Either way, moving forward here, like I said, we got the last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. And like I mentioned, it is Lefties Losing It. Today it's titled, What is Ariana Grande's beef with Sydney Sweeney? If she's got beef, let them throw hands. I'm just saying. Let's just solve our problems the old-fashioned way. Because the politics and the justice system just isn't working anymore. Anyways, before we do this, what color do you think Rita's wearing today? Now, I know everybody's going to lie, and I'm not going to answer you. We're just going to play the video, and it'll be whatever color you think it is, because I hate arguing about fucking colors. That's the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. But I want to know, what do you guys think it's going to be? I'm looking right at her, so I can't tell you. Shane saying blue. Let me see. Bill Clay, nothing. It's not nothing, Bill Clay. But if I come across it, I'll make sure to send you some emails. What's up, Stowner? Happy freedom to you. Watchman saying green today. Teasel, dude looks like a lady. I tried Teasel. Russell with orange. Interesting. Orange. I don't know if I've seen Rita in orange. Guess I'm saying blue. Teasel saying red. Done mutual combat needs resurgence. I agree. Told to care saying green. Pumpkin saying purple. Chicky Chops, what color do you think it's going to be? Is it pink? That's what I asked her. Ramsey, blue. Bill Clay with the black. Stoner, she's coming in with the dingo skin as a condom. All right, Hooligans, time for the reveal here. It's whatever color you think it is. I'm just going to go ahead and say it's red. But I know you guys are going to tell me it's cherry nutsack, whatever. Magenta. That's what it is. Magenta. Either way, this is Lefties Losing It once again. What is Ariana Grande's beef? I can't even say the bitch's name. What's her beef with Sydney Sweeney and her fine jeans?
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and let's start with the mad ravings of MSNBC anchor Lawrence O'Donnell, who is now just reporting his paranoid fantasies as facts. Here he seems to think that the Trump presidency is in its final dark days.
J.D. Vance is doing exactly what Gerald Ford did while the Nixon presidency was sinking and Richard Nixon was under increasing pressure over several months that led to his resignation. Gerald Ford said nothing. When things were the darkest for President Richard Nixon, Vice President Gerald Ford said nothing. And when Richard Nixon resigned the presidency, Vice President Ford said, "Our long national nightmare is over." Tonight, J.D. Vance is silent. Tonight, J.D. Vance is Gerald Ford.
One problem with that rant, well, several problems actually, including it is stark raving mad, but far from saying nothing, Vice President J.D. Vance has been speaking and he has been doing interviews daily. As he noted himself, I did 2 media interviews literally today. Well done, Lawrence, you absolute clown show. Now let's go to CNN and hear from Marjorie Taylor Greene, who seems to be a changed woman since she appeared on The View. Maybe they put something in her drink, because this is concerning. What are you doing, MTG?
I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country, and it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions, and I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another.
I don't know what's happening there. What is she doing? She's apologising on CNN for her rhetoric. Really? As Matt Walsh noted, leftists celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder and then elected an Attorney General who openly fantasises about killing us and our children, and now Republicans are going on CNN to apologise for their toxic rhetoric. What the hell is going on? What the hell indeed? Do better, Marjorie. Now, here is Bill Maher giving his fellow lefties a quick history lesson in what happens when you embrace the failed doctrine of socialism.
Here's capitalist South Korea at night from space. Here's socialist North Korea. Yeah. In 1990, Venezuela was wealthier than Poland. But then Poland, finally free of Soviet-style economics, went all in on capitalism. And now their economy is as big as Japan. And people there have high wages, low inflation, cars, vacations, homes. Meanwhile, Venezuela traded capitalism for Hugo Chavez's socialism for the 21st century, which turned out to be like socialism in the last century or any century. Mess. It turned one of Latin America's richest countries into one of its poorest. Low wages, high inflation, shortages, outages, 8 million people fleeing. If you think New York can somehow reinvent this wheel, you're in for a rude awakening.
Well said, Bill Maher, but I think he knows as well as I do that they're not going to listen to him. Now, it's clear that CNN doesn't want to join CBS and ABC in cutting Donald Trump a massive 8-figure check for deliberately defaming him. Watch this disclaimer before a question was asked.
That mentioned the president, and we do want to be clear, the president, Trump, did not receive or send any of the messages, which largely predated his time as president. He's not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing in connection with Epstein or Maxwell.
It was very thorough indeed. It really wasn't a point asking the question after all that. Now, let's go back to MSNBC, the mental health asylum masquerading as a news network, and Jen Psaki was quick to correct herself after a defamatory comment about the president, labelling him a predator.
In supporting what Donald Trump is doing.
You're talking about the other predators out there, in addition to Trump. I mean, I'm not saying he is. We don't know all the details about that. I just mean in addition to what we've learned about Epstein and others, there's other predators out there.
There are.
Welcome back. Let's talk more about the latest Jeffrey Epstein revelations. Now, the real scandal here is not the fake manufactured narratives pushed by the increasingly desperate Democrats who redacted already released information to make it appear as if Donald Trump had spent hours with a mystery Epstein victim. But that victim was known and widely reported on. It was Virginia Giuffre, who made it clear repeatedly that Donald Trump had done nothing wrong. She said that repeatedly. She wrote it in her memoir. And most importantly, she submitted sworn testimony to the court saying just that. But the Democrats redacted her name in the email to make it appear that this was some new scandal. The real story is a convicted sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein, plotting with the Democrats to get Donald Trump. Yes, the pedophile and staunch Democrat was even feeding questions to a House Democrat during a 2019 congressional hearing. The other story is discredited author Michael Wolff plotting with Epstein to get Trump. That's what those emails reveal. And why did Jeffrey Epstein hate Donald Trump so much? Well, it's not just because Epstein was a prolific Democrat donor, but as Michael Wolff himself admitted, Epstein suspected that Trump had reported him to the authorities.
At that point, Epstein's legal problems began. The police began to investigate him over allegations that he was, that there were underage women coming to his house. Epstein believed that it was Trump who first informed the police about what was going on at Epstein's house. And from that point on, they were nothing but bitter enemies.
And this is what he's telling you. This is one of the instances of what he's telling you.
Yes.
Joining me now is Newsweek's.
Okay, that is the last little bit of the news there. We're going to go ahead and get into the fun stuff. Like I said, we're going to be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our 2 funny videos of the day. It's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about lefties losing their marbles. Oh, Klaus Daniels here sleeping on his noggin. Some of the stuff I can't read out loud. Zero Bill spewing facts to the normies. Trying to bridge the gap there. Watchmen, no package delivered today? Nope. I went to the post office. I got a letter from Wad. I'm pretty sure I left it in the car. Now that I think about it, I need to go get it. But nope, that was it. That was all that was at the post office. I'll try again tomorrow, though. Shroomish, MTG votes more American than Trump. Say what you want about her, but her votes say it all. I don't really know what they're fighting about. I don't really question MTG being America first. I haven't seen her do anything to suggest otherwise. She was on The View, but I didn't watch the whole episode, so I didn't notice her saying anything too wrong or anything like that. For her and President Trump, they're definitely not getting along right now. I think the big problem is that everybody has something they want to happen and everything is just taking too long. Everything costs too much and stuff is scarce and, you know, so on and so forth. Deportations aren't happening fast enough. Some places still have dudes in women's sports and so on and so forth. And everybody's dragging their feet and standing in the way as much as they can. What's up, Nephilah? Happy freedom. Nephilah, wake up. There you go. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Mm-hmm. There you go, Nephilah. He's moving. Guess I'm anything from Hair Juicer? No. No. Let me see how long it's been. 21 days. So we got 9 more days or so before we can start expecting to hear from somebody about something. Jay Tyler, I can't afford any of that stuff. It's not a person problem, it's a money problem. I don't have enough money to do anything. I don't have enough money to fix my car or my teeth or anything. And apparently robbing casinos isn't very profitable. I'm gonna have to start selling these Klaus toes. What's up, Cass? Happy freedom to you. All right, hooligans, let's get into the fun stuff. Like I said, we're going to open today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our 2 funny videos of the day. But before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the video description. We have PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee. You can send something to the P.O. Box, or you can even send crypto. Let's see what we get today from this gnome Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. All right, day 18. Still waiting on Christy Gnome. We'll see what we get today. Come on, come on. Spooky. Got another spooky guy here. He's got bats in his beard. At first I thought it was eyebrows. He's got bats in his beard. He's styling. And he's got his little jack-o'-lantern there. I don't know why my camera won't focus on these. It'll focus on everything else, but not these little figurines. I have no idea why. Either way, thank you so much, Tori Wayne. Really appreciate you. Got a nice little collection of gnomes here. Let's get into these funny videos. This first one was provided by Russell. Damn, I couldn't get the news to load that fast, but this video, they were like, yeah, we're ready. All right, like I said, this was provided by Russell, and it's titled Good Advice.
We'll provide you with assistance by listing the following helpful tips for migrants looking to avoid ICE. Tip number 1, go back to your own country. Simple, but effective. Tip number 2, obey immigration laws. Studies show the best way to avoid being charged with a crime is to not do anything to break the law. Tip 3, take off your sombrero. You'll be less identifiable and blend in with every other Juan, Ricardo, and Geraldo. Tip 4, resist the urge to lead an armed gang to forcibly take over an apartment complex. It may be difficult, but your willpower will pay off. Number 5, don't rape anyone. American society tends to view this behavior as no bueno. Number 6, learn English. Making a convincing case to the governing authorities is much easier when you can actually speak a language they understand. Number 7, try cutting back to less than 1 murder per week. ICE is targeting violent criminals first, so go easy on the murderin'. Following these tips is a surefire way to evade capture and deportation. You'll escape the clutches of ICE and be back hanging out in the Home Depot parking lot in no time. Until next time, si se puede. And this video will provide you with
Yes, good advice. It's good stuff. Getting into our official funny video of the day here. This one was provided by 10 Man. Come on. All right. Like I said, this was provided by 10 Man and it's titled Move. I told him to move. That's how it goes. Either way, that is all the coffee I had for you hooligans today. I'm going to grab this link really quick. I'm dropping all the chats. We're going to read through. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and then we're going to be raiding out over on Rumble. Russell, love that video. I do too. It's so funny. Tori Wayne, he's a cute little gnome. They're all really great. I love these little gnomes. Alright, hooligans, there is the link list where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we've got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You will also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, the arcade, the Hooligan AI, and our advanced messaging system, with the built-in group chats. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the Hooligans. Like I said, we're going to read through. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and then we're raiding out over on Rumble. Matt Rogers' fast RC cars will always find a human or another RC car to crash into. Yep, absolutely. Getting smoked by an RC car at 60 miles an hour, there's nothing like it. Teasel had mine crack in half a couple weeks ago. RC car? Are you talking about teeth stuff? I hope you're talking about RC car stuff. Hey, thanks for being with us, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Holy, I am sorry to hear that, Bobby J. Dental work is too damn expensive. What's up, Roy? Happy freedom. I will check it out. Sly Dog, thank you for letting me know, and happy freedom to you. Let me get this pulled up. We'll see. He's playing Dragon Ball. It's been a while. God, don't read out loud. I won't. Jay Tyler. Well, we almost played it twice. I don't know. I mean, if we did the thing, you gotta be quick. What's up, Darlene? Happy freedom to you. Most of this I can't read out loud. Zero lumpy. Oh, we'll see. Bobby, tacos sound good. Tacos always sound good. Jay Tyler, yeah, they can rewind it. It should be good. Should be fine. All right, I'm trying to think. It is that time once again, Hooligans. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. It is that time to raid out over on Rumble. Now, somebody suggested this. Let me see if I can figure out who suggested it. It was Sly Dog. Suggested that we raid Rance's Gaming something or other because his name is covered up, so I don't know what it says. I don't know, but this is Rance here, and he's doing it up with Dragon Ball. Never raided this guy before. I have no idea what to expect. But we're going to make the best of it. Let's go ahead and get things set up. Oh, of course I got to hit the wrong button real quick, you know. It's not the deal without it. Bang. All right, here we go. Don't forget, hit that like button as soon as you land, Hooligans.
Ah, damn it. Oh, we got a raid from Jeff Mac. Thank you for the raid, Jeff. I'm in the middle of a fight, bro. Oh, he hit me. What's up, guys? Make sure you smash that like and repost button. We're in the middle of the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
You're some sort of genius that has always surpassed me. No matter how hard I tried, I could never reach your level.
Go move! Come on! Shut up. We got a power up.
All right. Well, he's in the middle of having a Saiyan match right there. Fantastic raid, you hooligans. It's the first time raiding him. He's over there playing Dragon Ball Z. I have not played that game. I used to play Dragon Ball Z games, but man, they make you want to just snap your controller in half. I have to stop playing games like that. But either way, fantastic raid. What did I just do with my mouse? There we go. Either way, we're going to read through really quick, but we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Done. Game looks intense. Yeah, all the Dragon Ball games are. They're a bunch of button mashing games. And then if you actually used to watch a show or anything like that, you want to do all your favorite stuff, you want to go Super Saiyan and all that, you'll be getting your ass kicked while you're trying to figure out how to do that. That's the frustrating part. I don't know. Some people are good at it, and people like me, I just get pissed. Oh, that's cool, Zero. It was a pretty good raid. Teasel, open-faced steak sandwich, mashed potatoes and peas. That sounds fantastic. I'm gonna eat Klaus if he talks wrong to me today. I'm hungry. Tori Wayne, anyone playing Black Ops 7? I don't play those games. They're made by pedophile sympathizers. There's a lot of people playing though. Is the new one 7? I know the new one just came out and people are bitching about it, but they bitch about all the Call of Duty games when they first came out, and then they still spent all that money on it. Thank you for being with us, Bill Clay. Enjoy the rest of your night. Hey, thank you for being with us, Cass. Hey, I appreciate you being with us, Screaming Eagle. Enjoy the rest of your day. Totally Care loves the Klaus. Very nice. Dusto, thank you for being with us. Done. I'll stick to Mario. Mario pisses me off too. Little fat man can't jump. You're hitting the jump button, he still falls in the hole. Then you gotta hit Klaus with the controller because it's his fault. Got to. Meta, Klaus is up, getting clean for dinner. He is. He's getting all ready. I told him, get all dressed up. We were going to have a nice dinner tonight. Tori Wayne, poor Mario, poor Klaus. I don't know. Just feeling my wrath. Just being locked in this little house with this asshole here. That's all right. He'll be fine. Watchman, you're playing Black Ops Zombies last night? Is it good? I haven't seen the new zombies yet. Bobby J, stay away from video games since Doom came out. I'll play just half hour. Next morning, zombied in front of the screen. Yeah, I used to have that problem, but now I actually get motion sickness from video games. And I don't know when that started, but I fucking hate it. I'll be sitting there playing the game, and then all of a sudden I'll start getting car sick. And that's only been happening in the last year or so. I guess it's age catching up to me or fucking something. I don't know. Well, that's cool, Zero. Yeah, I'll have to check him out. I don't know if I followed him or not, but I'll have to go back and follow him if I didn't. Teasel bow tie time. God, don't shock Klaus. I don't shock him. Klaus shocks me. I'm the one that hasn't eaten in 2 days. He's like can't figure out what treats he wants. He's got Go-Gurts and Fancy Feast, and he's what are those called? I can't even think what the hell they're called. He's got hard treats and soft treats and squishy treats and more toys than a cat needs. Klaus is pampered here. God, yeah, I don't know much about the guy shocking the dog or whatever, but I think what goes around comes around, and he should get a little of that treatment himself. What's up, Blue Crow? Happy freedom. Watchmen, the new Zombies has a different feel. Well, I'm sure they'll come out with a bunch of updates and stuff. That's pretty common for today's games. I think we're good to go, you hooligans. Dutton the shocker. She loves that. You just each finger and then you just snap. Anyways, like I said, that is all the news I had for you today, you hooligans. I will see you guys tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you for helping me cover the news, and thank you for helping me make the news suck a little less. I will see you guys tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your day, eat some good food, have fun, and be safe. I'm going to try and do the same. And like I said, make your way back to us tomorrow for more Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.
Jeff.